It's springtime in South Africa, and December's right around the corner. It's the perfect time to be out and about. And it's also Passport Bros season. So if you live in either Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg, or Pretoria, you might actually have been around a passport bro.
You passport bros, you guys are still going to get arrested.
You go to Uganda and get you a pearl.
Passport bros are men and women who go out into the developing world with the sole purpose of engaging in tourism.
You said he looked like Chris Brown? Chris Brown?
Maybe you saw this video earlier on in the year that was trending of this young woman who was in a shop. This guy says that he wants to have a relationship with her. And she says, just buy me a chicken.
Okay, sorry. I'll have to buy you a full chicken.
And this video went viral, of course. But from that, many people began to speak about how easy and accessible young men and women are in South Africa, also in developing countries, and how easy it is to engage in prostitution acts essentially for nothing. And often these men have these viral videos where they post about how easy and amazing it is to go into these countries and how well behaved these young women and men are. Are you well behaved? Or is it really just more so people who are hungry and seeing you as a means of opportunity?
Took my trainer on a date and only spent $21.
You have people who don't really appreciate the nuances of your country and also just come into this space to solely exploit.
But it still is tourism and it still is fetishizing African men.
Maybe if you've been to Thailand or maybe watched videos of people in Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, you'll see these long queues and these long lines of young men and women who are engaging in this industry. And is that maybe where South Africa is headed for? I remember, like, on top of this, I remember seeing this video on TikTok, on Twitter actually. And it was this young girl, she was in a high school uniform, and it was like maybe, I think it was like a heritage celebration or something. And when she was doing this, people began like sexualizing her, like this young minor child, basically sexualizing her and saying, this is why you need to come to South Africa. This is why you need to come to this destination. And it's somewhat becoming really creepy and uncomfortable. So let's also go back in history. There was the occupation of Vietnam by the USA in the 60s. And in that time period, babies were born, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, from US soldiers. These kids, they look different, of course, from the Vietnamese population. Some are half white, half black, half Mexican, half everything. And as a result of this, a lot of these kids were ostracized. They weren't welcomed in their communities, maybe pushed out, also abandoned because of how they were conceived and how they were basically came into being, also in that time, from that conflict time. And a lot of these kids, when they were born, they couldn't easily just turn to the USA